I've been searching for a big grizzly in the Canadian Rockies with my friend and guide, Ryan Callaghan, for 5 days. We're backpacking through a series of basins and hanging valleys in an isolated mountain range. We've looked at a lot of beautiful land and we've seen a lot of animals, some a bit too close. Get! But we haven't seen my main objective, a large, mature boar. I'm Steven Ranella. To me, hunting isn't only about the pursuit of an animal. It's about who we are and what we're made of. I live to hunt and hunt to live. I am a meat eater. My buddy Ryan Callaghan and I are deep into our hunt in the wilds of British Columbia. So far, we've struck out on grizzlies, but we decided to make an approach on this black bear.
He's coming our way. Another bear up above us.
I spot another black bear far up on the hillside above the first. We keep him in mind as we move closer to the first bear in order to see if it's a big male. I don't want to shoot until I'm sure about what I'm shooting at. I'm thinking about a lot of different things as we approach. Not wanting to get charged by a grizz, not wanting to spook a grizz that might be Mr. Right, not wanting to kill a black bear that's not big enough to have worthwhile hams for smoking, and all that noise inside my head is a recipe for failure. When we get to where the bear is supposed to be, he ain't there.
Good news is I do think the one up above us right now is bigger. Go a little slower and a little more quiet this time.
Yeah, let's go up there and have a look.
All right.
Anything else? We can keep blasting for grizzlies while we do it.
No sense rushing into a mountain house meal.
The other bear was grazing at the top of a finger of timber, but he's out of sight now. We hike up to a good vantage point and try to call him out. It's kind of a chancy move. We could inadvertently be calling in a grizz.
After watching grizzlies dig squirrels all day, it's about as much as the rodent stuff I want to play right now.
Do you want to, just for fun, go across a little ways looking up?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Then we get a break. He's right up above us.
We were trying to call that bear, and I thought we spooked it. But he just didn't care. I mean, we were close to that bear calling, and he just was like, whatever, dude.
You know, his ears are off to the side. Looks pretty long-bodied. Can sneak in here.
Should we get set up and try for him?
He's gonna roll right down that chute. You want to shoot off the pack stacked up?
Yeah. Did you get that one out of there?
Grapes. Oh yeah, keep it coming.
We don't lose it.
The bear rolls directly down an avalanche chute and into a hellish tangle of alder.
Do you know where it wound up?
It could end up down here, the way it was going.
That thing really picked up some speed when it started rolling.
Yeah. I mean, you stoned it.
Well, I'm worried about finding him. You think that chute runs like that?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely hooks that way.
It's nearly dark and we need to locate the bear. A wounded bear in thick brush can create dangerous situations in a hurry. But I'm not gonna leave this bear unrecovered and ungutted overnight. If you can't cope with a little risk, you ought to consider steering clear of these mountains.
You see it all?
I don't see any like a trail of knockdown stuff.
Hey, Steve!
Yo!
I got his fall line right here! I got him! Hey, stop, stop, stop. He's still breathing.
My shot was a tad high, busted the spine without puncturing both lungs. It's not an immediately fatal hit. The tenacity and fight for life in these animals is astounding. That's just one of several reasons why hunting bears feels so different to me. Bear hunting brings on moments that are humbling and sometimes even conflicting.
One, two, three. One, two. Man, I am sorry to have wounded you like that. Oh man, it's been a long day.
It's getting dark quickly and we have plenty of work to do. We've been on our feet for many hours and by now we're entirely exhausted.
That's amazing. All I can smell is blueberries.
Yeah. He's fattening on the good stuff, man.
Yeah.
We pull the animal away from the gut pile and make a plan to get back here first thing in the morning. I don't want a grizzly getting in here to steal the meat and ruin the hide of this bear, but considering our exhaustion and the risk of a grizz coming on us in the dark, we figure it's best to put the butchering off until daylight when we'll do a better job of it. We wake up tense at first light, hoping that our black bear has been left alone. But as we pop over the ridge right behind camp, our fears are made real.
Oh, shoot.
It's right there.
There's a grizzly on there, on that gut pile. Is he on the gut pile?
No, it's just right next to it. It's in the berries.
Oh, it's not on the bear?
Let's sneak up right here. I'm gonna throw the scope.
That's a young bear.
It's a young bear.
Dang it, man.
I know.
It's a sow. She doesn't seem to know about the carcass yet, or she knows and she's too nervous to approach. Either way, we need to move her along. Once she gets on the carcass, she'll be all the more reluctant to leave.
I wonder if she's been peopled at all, you know? If we gave her some shouts from up here. Send her going. Hey! Hey! Go!
The old standby, shouting and waving, backfires.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
It only serves to get her attention, and now she's coming our way instead of boogieing out of here.
What do you think about shooting a rock next to her? Careful not to shrapnel her with the rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that big face on the...
Like back behind her?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Man, these bears do not get a lot of deterrence training out here.
Of course, they haven't been pet much either.
No. keeps trying to kill these rocks. She's going up.
I'd like to hustle down to that bear and
get that taken care of.
You know, take what's ours.
Man, these bears make me nervous, man. They just like are just don't care.
No.
They do not care about folks.
No.
We make short work of the butcher job. It's a beautiful, healthy, fat bear. We'll be taking home about 100 pounds of meat, including some gorgeous hams for the smoker, plus a couple sacks of blueberry bear fat that we can render into wild lard. We decide to secure the bulk of this meat in the bear's hide well away from camp in a safe place. We keep on us only enough for camp meat. It's a much better option than having one of the locals over for dinner while you're out hunting. We've hunted our home valley pretty well. Any old gun-shy boar grizz might have taken the hint and moved on to other valleys. So to save time on our way back, we climbed directly up the valley wall in order to access the neighboring valley rather than going around to the head of the range divide. It's a hell of a climb, but I'm expecting the view to be well worth the struggle.
It's perfect, man. It is perfect. Oh yeah, Grizz. It's the two-tone bear from the other night?
Old panda. Yeah, I ain't doubt my mind.
We've seen this exact bear before, and she's not a shooter.
You know about mark and recapture in biology?
No.
Like, you net 10 walleyes, you put a tag in those 10 walleyes. Whole year goes by, and all 10 of those walleye get caught.
Mm-hmm.
You start figuring out a walleye in that lake.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're doing like a mark and recapture exercise.
Don't say that.
Like, yep, refounder.
The new valley isn't offering up anything we haven't seen before. We dig in and wait, glassing and hoping. We keep hunting, but it seems like we're just not finding the right bear. Time is becoming an issue, but suddenly the glassing from this valley pays off.
There is over on that hill over there. Hey, Ryan.
Bear.
See that Grizz?
Dark Grizz.
Yeah.
That is a thick bear.
Man, this thing, it looks like it's got shoulders, man.
I hate to tell you, but from what I've seen, I think it's a boar.
Why do you hate telling me that?
Because he's moving the opposite direction.
He looks like
Yeah.
he's got a lot of gur up front, you know?
Yeah. He's worth taking another look at.
Yeah.
So let's boogie. It's the first bear I've looked at where I'm like, gotta get a better look at him. And I do think it's a him.
After 6 days of looking, here finally is a grizzly that just might be the one I'm after. But if he keeps climbing and tops out, he's gonna be gone.
We're way behind.
It's now or potentially never.
Come on.
Come on, man. He went right over the top.
He could just turn it
might-
right back around.
He might be in there at daybreak.
Yeah.
I think we get up at daybreak and look, and then strike out of there and just try to find him again.
We know that next valley is a good valley. It holds bears.
Yeah, you can see him just toying with the idea of going back over, you know. Got all majestic up there like a beer commercial for a minute. If I was him, I would have got to the crest, so he was skylined, and I'd have stood up and went. And then.
No prancing pony?
No, I'd have done a way, I'd have like swiped at us and left.
On our hike back to camp, the realization that I might be going home without a Grizz starts to really sink in. We've been up here about a week, and our only real chance just left town. Our last day dawns with very low cloud cover. It makes it difficult to locate that bear from last night, the only bear we've seen that might be the right one.
Really pushing the limits of our time here in the high country, so we can't, gotta weather the storms that come.
Gonna glass out this base and maybe give it an hour or two, see if he's around somewhere.
Come on, bear.
Today, tonight, you know, could be the time this happens. We'll see.
As though she wanted to cheer us up, we get a visit from an old friend.
It's the Sound 3 Cubs. Back way over here. Man, those things travel. She's heading over the top into the next basin. Very defensive, hard-working mother. You gotta respect her, man.
The weather is getting worse, and that big bear has got to be bedded down somewhere. Bears don't like bad weather any more than folks do. Our plan is to hike up over to the basin he crossed into last night and hope that the weather lifts and we get lucky. As we gain elevation, visibility gets worse and worse. We can't spot any bears. Really, we can't even see where we're going.
Trying to figure out what our best odds are if we get a window here. Being a little bit closer to home and in the drainage where we at least saw that bear go into.
I feel like getting over there, you got like a navigation issue right now.
I'd say we got a navigation issue all over. But
one thing about going down is at least you get down below the fog and you can watch something.
Yeah, let's peel off and maybe we can build a little spot and shelter and see what we can do.
The low visibility up on the ridge pushed us back down into camp on the afternoon of our last hunt day. We can still keep an eye on our surroundings and hope for something, but at this point, it's harder and harder to be optimistic. I'm just not gonna get my grizzly on this trip. But this has still been an incredible hunt, and I did get a nice blueberry-infused black bear. And I can't help but be happy about that, especially when it's time to eat. This is about the simplest backcountry meal around. Cubed hunks of bear fat are heated and liquefied to just underneath the smoke point. Then you simply drop in chunks of bear meat, in this case bear loin, until they are cooked.
Dang, that's good.
I know, I love that stuff. People don't like bear, I don't understand. I mean, it might be like they got a bad bear, but I don't understand what can be said about it.
That's tasty.
It really is. That's one of my favorite meats, man, is black bear meat. I can't wait to eat a grizzly bear. Wanting to hunt a grizzly has been different than wanting to hunt most stuff for me, where it's always felt like it's something I will do someday, kill a grizzly bear. And when I do get one, like, it's gonna be the right bear. Like, I want it to be like a large boar, you know, who's been around a while, man, you know?
Yeah, in my mind, that's the only way to really give this animal its kind of dues, you know? You can't just try to crack the first one you see.
I know. It's something like, it's just like good to look at them. I'll find the right one. It's like, I want it to be the right bear in the right circumstances.
Yeah.
And like this would have been, and who knows what's gonna roll over one of these ridge tops, but this would have been, in my mind, the circumstance. Like you know what I mean? Like the perfect backdrop for like a really big moment in your life, you know what I mean?
Well, it's kind of the perfect bears. They're used to being on top. And there's at least a good portion of the population out here that hasn't been shown otherwise.
I'm not gonna give up hope. I'm gonna start plotting and figuring on my next grizzly hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming, like, doing this trip with me.
Be a hard trip to just forget, that's for sure.